Hey everyone, here's 2 bonus lives for you tonight. Main course and then, dessert.
Hello
Enjoy.
everyone, it's Rebecca here. How are we? Going live on 3 platforms today, so bear with me a sec. Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here. I've got 3 screens in front of me. Just in case if I miss anything you would like to ask, or if you want some advice or anything I can do to help you, please send me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can, all right? Sticky sesame chicken. Let me know, everyone that's joining, what are you making for dinner tonight? What's for dinner at your house? I will just grab, I've got to do some pizza dough straight up. I'm making a ricotta gnocchi. Hello. And low men noodles, yum. Buttermilk scones. Oh, that's so good, Mel. They're great, aren't they? I want to make the lemonade ones. I haven't done those yet. A Costco pizza lazy day. Mary, we all have those days. Absolutely. Sneaky takeaway, Justin. Oh, you takeaway people. Well, look, you know what? I know you guys have a Thermomix, so you know yourselves, sometimes you just want to get that takeaway. But I don't know about you, but 9 times out of 10, I end up bitterly disappointed and thinking, well, for the money, I totally could have made that myself at home. All right, let's do the pizza dough in this one, because this is, you'll notice the absence of my black Thermomix. It's with one of the girls in my team. And cheers, by the way. Cheers, everyone. Here's to Sunday. Here's to a great weekend. I am having a little cheeky drink tonight. Nothing I've made. It's come from a can. Just like a takeaway. It's nice and easy, so you just go with that, right? So the absence of my black Thermomix, it's with one of the girls in my team who needed it for a demo, and sadly she didn't quite get around to earning it. So she has borrowed mine. Bless her heart. Now the first thing I want to do though is grate the cheese up first. So if I start the cooking process, then I can bookmark the recipe, which is the easiest way then to come straight back to it. So I'm going to slip out and do just the cheese straight in the bowl. It's one of the easiest ways to do anything. Home. And then we're going to start making some gnocchi together. So I've quite often been asked about making pasta from scratch. Look, this is kind of a cheat. It's ricotta gnocchi. It's not the potato gnocchi. And to be honest, that's on my list of things to try. I still haven't made it. So let me know if you have made it. I love gnocchi. Weekend was amazing, BB. Thank you very much for asking. Caught up with friends on Friday night and chilled out yesterday and had a nice day today. A bit of a walk with the puppy dog at lunchtime. It's been a lovely day, but it's very hot. So I'm quite a hot, sweaty mess today, but anyway. All right, so pizza night and ricotta gnocchi. I'm doing pizza mostly for the 2 fussy people in my house, and that's my youngest and my eldest. So middle child will no doubt eat this gnocchi and enjoy it every mouthful, but the other 2 are not so keen, so we roll with that. Right, so quickly lid. Now I've given all my bowls a thorough vinegar wash today. This is your reminder to do the same. Get them nice and shiny. Go on all my pages. I have videos showing how I do it. Vinegar and water. Right, so cheese first. And I just buy mozzarella cheese in the block. I don't buy the already grated stuff because it's not just cheese, it's got a few other bits in there. I don't particularly want it. If you want to buy pre-grated cheese, I always say you do you. Now, the other thing I like to do is leave a bit of said cheese in the bowl. Go ahead and make the pizza. So back to where we were. I'll set that aside. Because you have a bit of cheesiness in the dough. So you can also grate, chop up garlic, add a bit of garlic powder to your dough. You can add all sorts of flavours to your dough. You can add herbs. and many other things. All right, hang on. I've got to go back because that recipe is set at 2 portions, and I actually I'll do a 4 portions today. So the basic pizza dough on your Thermomix has the ability to scale the recipe for you 2, 4, or 6. And how you do that is on the home page of the recipe, when you open it up, you'll see that it's an easy recipe, the prep time of 5 minutes, total time of an hour. Tap on the serving sizes, and that's where it will change that for you. Not all of the recipes are scalable, but they're getting there, which is great. And of course, some of them are probably already at maximum quantities. We don't want to go over our max line on our machine. So having had to do the math for years, I've got that pretty much down pat to just do it manually myself, but I love that the recipes have that function as well. Just again, I will say I'm going to be very focused on the machine behind me here. If anyone out there needs anything personally from me, or you want to ask a question and I've missed seeing it in the chat, please just send me a message and I'll get back to you. All my details are on my pages of how to contact me. If you'd like to have a chat about anything, reach out. All right. Now, there's stuff everywhere on my bench. So, let's get going over here for a minute while we just... Oh no, it's only seconds. Let me get the pizza dough done in the mat, and then we can concentrate on this beautiful gnocchi. So, gnocchi, if you haven't made it before, the way I do it is I've self-taught, literally from watching shows like MasterChef and others. YouTube, there's so many great resources out there. And of course, while we were in lockdowns and pandemic times, I was making a lot of pasta at home, a lot. Because, 1, I didn't want to have to go out the shops if I didn't have to. And 2, I found it very therapeutic. So, if you've ever made pasta before, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Some people may say, again, like someone the other night was commenting that, why would you bother? Look, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to show you what you can do with your Thermomix more than anything. And you can make pasta if you so wish to do so. I totally recommend, if you are going to seriously go and make fresh pasta from scratch, invest some money in a decent pasta machine if that's what you want to do, all right? Otherwise, you're just as good using a plain old rolling pin. It works exactly the same, okay? So, thank you, Dimity. I invested years ago in the Mercato brand, the Atlas. It is a very good quality pasta machine, and I've definitely made my money out of it over that whole pandemic time. So, the cheaper ones, look, they may suffice, but personally, I have used the cheaper machine. It's very clunky, so if you do think you might actually want to make pasta often, and I tell you what, once you make it fresh, you will be very critical of the dried stuff afterwards, because it is a game changer. So, yeah, definitely invest in it if you're going to do it. And like I say, I love that pasta machine. Online, called Everten. Everten, if you search up Everten, if you're in Australia, that is. I purchased that from them, and I got it at a really good price. So do your homework, and I'm sure you could be lucky enough to get yourself a really good quality one at a good price. Wait for sales, all that sort of stuff. Yes, there you go, Melissa. I did sort of let you know that. It's okay, and it does have a good rating. It's not my favourite. That low-waste chicken lasagna is amazing. It is amazing. So, excuse me, shush. Right, pizza dough is done. God, I love this. Easy. Can't beat it. Excuse me. Where is she? Shh. Shush. Go and annoy Daddy. It's like a child. Why do the children always have to annoy Mummy when there's a Daddy in the house? Go on, off your pop. No. Shh. All right. There's Daddy. Look, go see Daddy. So when you form your pizza dough, have it in a nice little ball. Look, it doesn't really matter. It's going to rise anyway. Especially today, I swear, it is like a sticky, humid day here. I'm going to just set that aside. Stick it in that bowl. Hopefully I don't forget. And now we're going to go on and make some gnocchi. So, again, I'm going manual. I became a consultant and a Thermomix owner with the TM5. I actually thought I was getting a TM31, but it was the TM5 that I ended up getting. So, I am very spoilt with guided cooking, and I love, love, love guided cooking. Dana, the black is with one of my team at the moment. She had to have a borough for a demo, and she doesn't have one herself. So, hopefully I'll get my black beauty back tomorrow, because I'm actually missing it. Now that I've had a black and white together, I'm down for that. So this is a recipe from the beautiful Nicoline Skinnymixers. It's in her Little Taste of Italy cookbook. I've had these books for years and years. I wonder if there's a date in here of when it was printed. 2018 was this one. So this is one recipe out of this particular book that I have made a few times, and I love it. I just love it. It's a ricotta gnocchi. Now, when I have made it before, I've also been very good and I've made the ricotta from scratch. Did you know you can do that? Search up on Cookie Do ricotta. You'll find the recipes in there. Homemade ricotta is where you'll find the ricotta recipe on its own, but quite a lot of recipes that have ricotta in the ingredients step you through making it. And it is literally milk and vinegar, okay? So most of the time I've made it, it's been because I've picked up some reduced price milk and I've thought, right, okay, I'm going to make it from scratch. But if you are going to make anything with ricotta, I've picked this up from Aldi. Aldi have a good price point in the proper ricotta. So you can buy ricotta in a little tub. It's not the same. Can I just say, it is just not the same. You want the proper. It's more, you actually can sort of see the curds. So when you're making ricotta from scratch, you're separating the milk into curds and whey. And the whey you can use in breads, in any recipe where you would add water. There's loads of things you can use whey for, and that's a simple Google search as well. But I thoroughly recommend you use the proper sort of deli ricotta for ricotta recipes. The stuff that's in the tub may be good for, say, come on, out of here, please, sweet things, all right? So sweet, smooth recipes. I saw there's a ricotta chocolate dessert. It looks a little bit like a panna cotta, which is another thing I've never made before. That may work with that sort of smooth ricotta, but for these sort of recipes, when you're using ricotta to make pasta recipes and the like, please use your deli ricotta, all right? So, again, simply milk and vinegar. It's so easy to make in your Thermomix. You will, however, need something called, and it has a classic name, the nut milk bag, or some muslin cloth, or a bit of brand new chucks to strain that and make it. There are videos saved on all my platforms. Scroll back. I've made ricotta many times. It is quite a nice, easy thing to do. Okay, excuse me. We've got a situation nearly ready to happen here. So, again, for anyone joining, cheers. I'm actually doing something I never do. I'm having a drink. But there we are. There's a first for everything. Okay. Well, it's not that I never do it. I just don't often do it. Oh, there go the cats and dogs. All right. So the first step of this recipe is Parmesan cheese. We want to grate our Parmesan cheese, and we want 100 grams of it. So I've just halved that block of 200. I'm going to cut that into cubes. Throw that in. I'm not even going to bother weighing it because I know it's about right. I'm going to grab a lid So all my bowls have had a thorough clean today. I've given each and every one of them a vinegar wash. So we want to add the cheese and mill for 10 seconds, speed 9. So now that is the sound of you saving money too, because generally buying the pre-grated stuff can be dearer than the whole block. I'm quite a fan of Aldi. If you have an Aldi near you, you can absolutely save yourself a bit of money on the basics like your Parmesan cheeses, your ricottas and other things. So there's that Parmesan cheese now almost to a fine dust in that small amount of time, which still never gets old. So I've got my mozzarella I did earlier before making the pizza dough, and now my Parmesan right next door. So next step, again, back to reading the recipe. What I'm making is ricotta gnocchi. It is a Skinnymixer's recipe today. And then the next instruction is add the remaining gnocchi ingredients, combine for 15 seconds, speed 4. So that is a choice of blanched almond meal, plain flour or gluten-free flour. So with Skinnymixers, she caters for all dietaries. This one is gluten-free, nut-free, egg-free, if you want it to be, low carb, full fat, vegetarian, and FODMAP it's got. So they've got versions of everything on there, which is kind of cool. All right, so we want 100 grams. I'm just going in with pasta flour, the little type double O. You can use whatever flour you have. Plain flour works absolutely fine. And then we want to add in the 250 grams of the traditional ricotta. I'll just grab a spoon out of the drawer. So you'll see when I talk about the stuff that you buy in the tub is very smooth. This is more crumbly. This is what you want, okay? If you buy the smooth stuff, you just won't get the same result. You want the crumbly, proper, this is made obviously and then sold in the little thing that they've made it in, because it's got a strainer built into it. Aldi is a good price point for it, or get the milk and make it yourself. Alright, so I'm making a bit of a mess here. So 250, wasn't it? 250? Yeah. So I've just brought my scales up on the TM6 and I'm just doing the recipe manually today. And to be honest, there is a ricotta gnocchi recipe on, whoops, what else do I need first? 1 egg, I'm going to add the egg. There is a ricotta gnocchi recipe on Cookie Doo. That's what I'm trying to say to you all. Jules, I'm not sure on that one. I don't see why not. The only thing I would hazard guess would be because it is processed, pasteurised and all those sorts of things, I'd probably edge on the side of not great, but I don't know the answer to that completely. You may have to search that one up. Okay, so we've added in the flour, the ricotta, the egg, some salt. So I'm just going to put a good pinch of salt in there, and pepper. And more pepper. Yes, the reason why, as I was saying before, there is a recipe on Cookie Doo. The reason why I like this particular recipe is we actually cook it in the Varoma. So that is why I love it. It's all in the one machine. All right. So, add in the ingredients, 15 seconds, speed 4. Let's just put speed 4 on. 15 seconds. Yeah, Jules, I'm not entirely sure what the correct answer is for that. But my head wants to say no. I use full cream, very full cream milk when I make it. And if I'm getting the milk from Aldi, I get their organic milk because it's got a bit more creamy than just full cream milk, yeah? So at the end of the day, you're separating curds and whey. And if there's a bit of water content, it may actually make it a little less. Oh, Boston bun. Fantastic. That's really cool. All right, so then what we want to do is scrape mixture out into a bowl and set aside. And then without washing the bowl, we're adding stock in and we're going to start heating up the water because we are going to steam this gnocchi and it is delicious. All right, I believe I don't need that board. So what I'm going to actually do is not put it in a bowl, but pop it onto my mat where I'm going to prepare it and save me having to dirty a bowl, right? Now, a little bit of a scrape out the bottom of that one to get all that last little bit. So it has an interesting consistency, and I as I say, I've never made the potato one. I've actually finally bought myself a potato ricer because it's something that I've probably not really needed to do it, but I've thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to have one to make it proper, especially after, as I say, watching many episodes of shows, cooking shows, MasterChef, etc. I love seeing them using and what they do and how they do it, and then to copy, of course. So we're making gnocchi. Yes, good. That's excellent. So welcome everyone. We've got 3 devices going in front of me. So again, I just will say if I miss any questions or anything, please just send me a message because it's pretty full on today. I'm going to be looking in all directions and cooking also looking down. All right, so we are now going to add in 400 grams of water. So 400 grams of water, and we're putting stock paste into the water, and this is going to help with the sauce. This is going to be part of the sauce, okay? So chicken stock concentrate. Now, that I have in my freezer. I'm going to grab that out. So you could use vegetable if you didn't have chicken, for sure, especially if you were doing a vegetarian version. And it says here, for vegetarian, use vegetable stock. For low FODMAP, use gluten-free flour and low FODMAP compliance stock. So it has all the tips on what to do in place of. So 1 tablespoon, so I'm going to add that in there. Now, when you make your stock with the correct amount of salt and you freeze it, it actually doesn't go solid. All right, so you can spoon it direct from the freezer. I do keep my chicken stock in the freezer. I do keep my veggie stock in the fridge. It will last up to 6 months and I will 100% use it within that time. All right, so back to here. Right, so now we are adding the water and stock and putting it on to 10 minutes. So we're going to put in 10 minutes. Steaming temperature, which is varoma. It is a copyright word, so that's why sometimes you might see in a recipe and it says MC off. It might say something like that, which says steaming temperature. Only because the word varoma has a copyright. So there we go. Right, so while that's doing that, okay, with damp hands, we're going to roll the gnocchi mixture and arrange on both steaming trays. So it says just to roll it into small balls. Let me get my varoma out. Lid went flying down the back. Okay, so I do things a little different, all right? And this again, this is something, as I said earlier, I have learned from simply watching other people make and use a gnocchi board. So, what is a gnocchi board? These little things here. So these are, throw it into the ricotta. These are readily available from kitchen stores. They are around $6 or so. Sometimes you can get special. They're also on the mix shop. You get a pair of them and they're called butter pats. So if you're making blocks of butter, you can use these to shape it into a block of butter. All right? So there you go, all the things you learn. All right, I'm going to cut this in half and into quarters. And how I do this, all right, is I want to roll it into a sausage shape. And remember, when you're working on your silicone mats, please do not use sharp knives. Always use silicone or plastic. Your spatula does the job. A little one of these sort of things helps to cut that gnocchi. All right, so I'm going to roll that out. Try and keep it as even as you can. I'm very rustic, but I find this very therapeutic, as I said. A lot of people may say, oh, just go and buy the stuff. Look, if that's how you feel, do it. But I actually get a real joy buzz out of making this from scratch because it's really delicious. So then what you want to do is you could just cut them off and then have them in little pieces like so, right? But what I do is I use a little gnocchi board. And I think you can all see kind of what I'm doing. All right, all I can see is comments and names, and it's a blur because you're all a mile away from me. So with your thumb, what you want to do is roll it down the gnocchi board. Hang on, I'll tell you what, I've straight away mucked it up, right? Just roll it down and you'll get those little grooves. Now what I should have done was got a bit of flour onto this board before I started. So let me just put a little bit of flour on the bench and put a little bit of flour on my board. Okay, so again, you're just literally with your thumb rolling it onto the board, and then you get those nice little grooves in the gnocchi. You'll see there. So how you apply the pressure is how the shape will come out. So if you're a little bit firmer, you'll get like a bit of a shell shape of sorts, or you'll have a little space in there. You can see. Now that is good because what happens then is the butter or whatever sauce you're serving it with is going to end up in that grooves, and you're going to get a nice bit of sauce every time you have a piece of gnocchi. So into your varoma with these little bits, and again just do them however you want to do them. So I must admit, I think the ricotta and the heat and my hands probably, it's a little softer than normal. It is really unseasonably warm here today. So, like I said, if you've got any questions that I'm not seeing and I can't answer off the hand, just please send me a message, because I'm going to be concentrating on my little pieces of gnocchi. So literally just rolling it down the board to get those nice little grooves in there, or leave it like that. Either way, but having the grooves, this is something I've learnt from watching all the cooking shows, and I'll come really close with it and show you, is that you will get sauce within those grooves. You will get more flavour on your little piece of gnocchi, okay? And for the small investment of one of these and doing this, I reckon it's totally worth it. So yeah, just a little roll down the board. It's going a bit better now. And then put them into your varoma as per this recipe. Now, her boiling the water time doesn't really give me a hell of a lot of time to get this all done. So it's a race against the clock for me. You could hold off boiling the water until you had all the pieces done for sure. So yeah, the recipe that is on Cookie Doo, this one is Skinnymix's. Wants you to boil a pot of water and cook it that way. I love this way because it's going to do the varoma. It's making the sauce at the same time. It's a really very clever, fantastic recipe. Alright, and again, just rolling it down the board. Getting those lovely grooves in your gnocchi. And again, I love doing this sort of stuff. I find it very. So again, I'll come in a bit closer. You're just rolling it with your thumb down the board. Lucky it landed in the lid. And just getting those little grooves and that little pocket in there for your sauce. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be precise. It's just that motion of rolling down. All right, last bit. Oh, I think we're just a few seconds off. It's ready to steam away now. There we go. All right, so one last bit. And I'll give you a close-up when I'm now on the last piece. All right. Oh, there we go. So there's all the little bits of gnocchi in there and down there. So we're going to pop that on top now. Go back to our recipe, which is covered in flour. So while steaming, use hands, roll into, arrange on steaming trays. Ensure they aren't touching as they will swell. Place each one lightly with a fork. Well, I don't need to do that because I've rolled it on the board. If the mixture is too wet, add a little bit more flour. Steaming trays into place and cook 5 minutes. Steaming temperature. So again, 5 minutes. Aroma. And speed to 2. Right. When the steaming is finished, we're going to set the gnocchi aside to cool while we make the sauce. And you're going to retain some of that liquid that has the stock paste in there as well to make a really beautiful sauce. Now I need lemon juice, and my basil in the garden is not looking great. So I've gone to Woolies quick, picked up some superb basil and also some spinach because I like the combination of the two in this sauce. Got it cooked. The gnocchi cooked already. So simple, so quick. All right, let me just push this out the way. Put my recipe there so it doesn't get damp. With my Thermomix A wipe. That pizza bowl needs cleaning. Pizza dough will be next. Right, so again, with your varoma, always lift it away from your face. The lid is designed as a tray to catch the drips. So, oh, smells so good. For something so simple, it is such a really delicious flavour. It really is. All right, so what I'm going to do actually is sit that for a minute on here so it stays nice and warm. Remove a bit of that moisture from the steaming. Okay, and then proceed with the rest of the recipe. So now we're making the sauce. And remember, we put stock into the water to give it, to start cooking that down and give that a base. You don't clean the bowl, so it's got a bit of the flour in there. It's got a bit of the ricotta gnocchi flavour in there. This is a real winner. There's my squeezer. Here it is. So, reading on with the recipe. Set the gnocchi aside. Retain about 100 grams of the liquid stock left over from cooking. All right. Add the butter and cook it for 4 minutes steaming temperature. So, what I'm going to do is, where's my little jug? I did see it there somewhere, didn't I? I think I cracked the egg in it, didn't I? Yep. Jug number 2. Here it is. So we want 100. Was it 100? 100. So I'll give it a good whiz around so it's all mixed in together. So retain about 100 and then cook that with the butter. So there's the 100. So I'm going to throw out the rest, which is probably carnage. Shouldn't do that, but there we are. So 100 of that back in. And we want to add into that 100 grams of unsalted butter cubed. quick recipe too. That's another thing I like about it. Doesn't take hours and hours and hours. All right. So bring up your scales. And how do you do that? Swiping over, scales, weigh it in. So even with that liquid already in there, we're just weighing in on top of that. 99. Physical challenge. Let's just go with that. So now we're going to cook that 4 minutes, steaming temperature, speed 2 with the MC off again. So 4 minutes. Right. And then we're going to add the lemon juice and the basil. Right. Give me cutting board. Never mind. Shouldn't have read ahead. So I see in the comments there on TikTok, someone's asking, is it worth it? Is that right? Got mine already and you want a second one. You do too, don't you, Dimity? You're hilarious. I can quite like 2 of them. I am making gnocchi. Well, we're in the end stages of making gnocchi. It has scales. It weighs everything in. And generally speaking, we will follow a recipe on the screen. So, someone has made sticky date pudding here recently. So the recipe comes up on the screen with all the steps, all the ingredients, and then you hit start cooking and you follow along and add and weigh in each ingredient. It is amazing. Yes, that's why I sell them. So if anyone is interested in purchasing a Thermomix from me, I would love to look after you. Please just reach out. They are $2,579 currently. There is a choice of a white or the sparkling black. My black is currently with one of my team at the moment. I love the black. And there's a few of you in the comments that have recently bought the black. You can be a yay or a nay for that. The classic white is amazing. The sparkling black is really pretty. It's a limited edition. You will get the matching glider board, so the white or the black glider board, which helps to move it in and out the bench, keep the scales safe. Plus a $140 mix shop voucher to purchase whatever you would like from the mix shop. So yes, it's a really good time to buy because you're getting a whole heap of extras for the same price that you would at full price normal for the machine. There are payment options, including 24 months interest-free with Zip Money, which I think works out to be roughly about $28 per week. And then we have Afterpay, PayPal, Easy3. Easy3 is a great option as well. It was how I purchased my machine. When I signed up, there was no earn program, so I paid up my deposit, got my machine straight away, and then my commission paid for the next 2 installments, which was really good. Again, I've been asked here, what's my favourite thing to make? The list is long. On my TikTok, where you're coming to me from, is in my playlists. There's a playlist of my favourite recipes. Some of my favourite recipes. What would you like, Dan? I can do that. So now we adjust. We've made the pizza dough before we made the gnocchi. So now I'm just making a very plain cheese pizza for one child and a bit of a meat lovers for the other. So there you go. You can. There are payment options available. So we have Easy3, which is an initial payment upfront of $1,029, and it's through Thermomix, so there is no credit check for that one. You get the machine straight away, and then, excuse me while I grab a pizza tray and my brain works, and turn the oven on. Yes, now back to that. The initial payment of $1,029, then 30 days later $800, and then 30 days later $800. That's the Easy3. 24 months interest free is through a company we work with called Zip Money, And Zip Money will, you know, it is interest free. You still will pay a monthly fee, so the sooner you can pay it off, the better. I always say to people. Let's go back to where we were. Hang on, let me not get off track because then it could be disaster. Add lemon juice and basil, right. So tonight I'm doing a recipe that is not built into the machine. It is, it's only a teaspoonful, for goodness sake. So about that. And a handful of fresh basil leaves too. Yes, there are payment options available. All of these are through the link. So on my pages, in my bios, you will see my link tree. And in that link tree is my link to purchase. So you can absolutely go there and check out and see all the payment options available. There are quite a few. There used to be just outright easy free and interest free, which used to be a really hard application. Now it's all online. It's quite easy. Rebecca, I use it multiple times most days and both of them. So we've made pizza dough in this one tonight. We're doing the gnocchi in here right now, which last step we're on. Cook for 2 minutes, steaming temperature speed 1. All right, so tonight what I'm doing is actually what we would call manual cooking, which is how we used the Thermomix before we had all the recipes built in. Some of my favourites are still manual recipes. So what can you use it for? Well, that's another great question. Many things. So the list of functions of a Thermomix are quite large. You can make doughs, you can ferment, you can slow cook, you can sous vide. It's a blender, smoothie maker, juicer. You steam in it, you cook in it. Dinner time, baby. Yes, yes you do. It's dinner time. There's so many things the Thermomix can do. Again, I would say go and have a look at my videos, have a look at my page. I share a lot. So I'm here as a consultant in Australia to support all my customers, and I often support other people's customers, which is absolutely fine with me. I don't mind where you come from, as long as you're getting the most out of your Thermomix investment. I'm a happy girl. Mel. Yeah, you'll find there's some great alternative recipes there for you. I have all her books. I must admit, they do become a bit of a dust collector on a shelf, but then my family eat all and everything. We aren't restricted, and a lot of her recipes are great for people who might have dietary requirements as well. Yeah. All right, so boring cheese pizza for smallest child. And then a big pizza for the big boy. Alright, that's my gnocchi done. So what I'm going to do with that is leave that for a minute because I need to get this pizza on. This is the problem. I've been busy tonight. Normally there's time where I've got to look at the screen, answer the questions and talk to you directly. As I say, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. If you would like to see something in particular made, again, reach out to me because I will happily show you what the machine can do to suit you, because I understand everyone is different. Everyone has different needs. Some people go to the extreme to make everything from scratch. Some people just like to use it as a partner in the kitchen. So I always say it's a head chef for some, it's a sous chef for others. It just depends on what you need it for. It just makes life easier in the kitchen. I'm not a bad cook myself. Prior to owning a Thermomix, I'm quite good in the kitchen. I just find that this has opened up my repertoire. I make a lot of things I probably would never have made before. And I just remembered I better put some barbecue sauce on this or I'll be in trouble. To make an amazing tomato relish, which is very like a barbecue sauce. And I know my son adores it, so I shall put a few dollops of that on this pizza. Yeah. Things I would never have made prior to owning a Thermomix would be pizza dough. I would have bought it in some way, shape or form. Now I save myself a fortune because I don't have to pay expensive pizza night anymore. I make it all so easily. The dough costs roughly around $1.50 to make 3 family-sized pizzas. Oh man, I could just, you know, for people who are on here that know me and have followed for a while, they'll know exactly what I'm saying. I say the same thing all the time because this is what it is. For me, it has been just a bit of a godsend, especially when you're busy, if you're time poor, perhaps you don't have as much time to spend cooking or finding recipes. The wonderful thing about our recipe platform, and you can all register, cookiedoo.com.au, do a free 30-day trial. Put a bit of parmesan on here too. You can look up recipes, have a look, have a scour around. I have YouTube videos galore with all sorts of information. There you go. Boiled eggs for your sandwiches. Yes, we have the egg boiler mode, so you can pop your eggs straight into the bowl, walk away and come back when they're done. There's so many things. It replaces a lot of appliances as well. I find that quite a few people like that they can declutter the cupboard of stuff. Yeah. As I say, if it's new to you and you're not sure, please go check out my videos on my pages that you're joining me on, because there's loads of content there for you all. So, all right. So the great thing about making your own pizzas from scratch is you can cater it to every person in your house and what they like and what they don't like, and add your own toppings. It's a great way to use up leftovers. I actually have some, and I'll tell you what, if he heard me saying this, he'd probably kill me. I have buttered chicken, leftover buttered chicken sauce in the freezer that I've been meaning to make a pizza from, and I keep forgetting. One of these days, because my son just adores butter chicken. That's one of his favourites that we make, so. All right. So we're just adding a bit of salami, chorizo, and I've got some cabanossi here. Like I say, it's a typical boy, loves the meat lovers, and this is Mum's version of that. You can add whatever you like. Oh, the neighbour's shouting. Is there football on? Is there a game on somewhere? Go the Matildas too, by the way. Let's just say that. Grating your cheese, golly, that's what we did when we started the video today. We did the grated cheese. Yeah, there's so many things. So many things. Like I say, for everyone it's different. Some people want it to be a partner in the kitchen. Some people who perhaps aren't confident at cooking love it because it tells you what to do. You can still be creative. As I say, the recipes are guided, they're not the law, so make them your own. Yeah, it's endless. A long list of amazing things, right? And yes, there is a lot of meat going on this. It's for a 20-year-old. Port Adelaide, that's what it'll be, Chris. Hello, how are you? Yeah, quite a lot you will cook fully in the Thermomix. Otherwise, it might be baking in the oven. You will probably still occasionally use your stovetop, but you could quite easily get away with not having to use your stovetop. I quite often use my air fryer because I live in Queensland and I don't usually like to heat up the house with the oven, although the pizzas are going in the normal oven tonight. I do own a pizza oven, but it's quite a ordeal to get that set up and on, and we're out of gas, I believe. So one thing we need to do is go and purchase a couple more gas bottles because we have 3 things that use gas bottles in one bottle. Although one of them is a heater and that can go away now because I don't think we're going to need that again. because it's heading into summer real quick, I reckon. All right, so there we go. Pizzas are in the oven. That is done. Let me just move that out the way. Use all the cheese. And we're going to set up our gnocchi now. So what I do is grab out my oval server and my gnocchi that we steamed. So this is the steamer attachment. We steamed our gnocchi. So we made the gnocchi dough. We've steamed the gnocchi. And now we've made the sauce with the water that steamed it. And using our beautiful stock paste, which is a must make. It's a must make. I don't understand how anyone out there can possibly have Thermomix and not make stock, because it's just, to me, so easy. It's a game changer. You can use up any veggies that may go to waste. All right. So there's our delicious butter sauce for gnocchi. Give that a good scrape out. Some basil leaves left behind there. Give that a bit of a toss around. And then I'll come in close and show you how you'll see with me using that little gnocchi board to prepare that, the sauce now will stick in those little grooves. Excuse me. So see how there's lovely sauce, silky sauce all over that and sitting within the grooves, so that is just mouth-wateringly delicious. All right. Here we go. Now, it's a very rich dish, something you only want to have a small portion of and perhaps serve it up with something fresh. I'm going to put it on a bed of spinach just to take that nice edge off. So there we go. Ooh, so nice, right? Ricotta gnocchi pizza. What else can we make in our Thermomix? If I can be of any help to you at all, please reach out to me. Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll catch you next time. It was delicious. Is your lucky night. You're getting 2 for 1. 2 for. Hey Nick. Hey Kelly. All right. I've just done a little bit of a search because I thought, you know what, I make the same cookie recipe all the time, and look, it's fantastic. I love it. But dinner's ones are in the dishwasher. Not Jimmy. I love that you love the TM6. Says, Maz, you missed dinner. How are you? Oh, yay, Kessa. Did you? Now, is that like the 100 ones? Are they good, Kelly? Because I looked at that one and I couldn't decide. I've got all the ingredients to do that. I'm sure I've got condensed milk. And if not, we could make it. Did you know you can make condensed milk in your Thermomix? This is my dented bowl. Anyway, it still works. They're great. How great are they? I want to do, is it the 100 ones? Can you make sleep in your Thermomix? I dropped it on the floor doing a live. I'm sure there'd be some of you that were here that day I did that. That was silly, wasn't it? Here we go. But what I did was I uploaded Nana's chocolate chip cookies from Recipe Community, and I've doubled it. Keza, there's nothing wrong. TM31 is an amazing machine. Just know that there's going to be a time where they're not going to have parts to fix it. As long as you know that. All right, so butter, sugar. Let me get all the things. Butter, sugar. The American pancakes are great. And they also make great waffles. Totally is a testament to the absolute. They do have a trade offer that's constant, but yeah, if you're happy, keep going. Yes, the cat. Kill me now. The dog too, she's being a pest. All right, now, I'll use up the last of that. The butter. Did I get the butter after all that? No. All right, so I'm just on with you guys. The carbonara is amazing. Love it. There's a few. The alla. It's got alla in it. That's a fun one. Yeah, Keza, if you've got a consultant, get in touch with them. If you don't, I can help you with it. Please always, guys, I ask of you, beg of you, do things through us consultants. We're the ones in the field, working the, you know, doing this sort of stuff. And it just breaks my heart when we get, while I was on live before a web sale came through, you know, you're just giving Thermomix more money. Cuts us out of the deal. So please, I beg. I can show you, hang on. Because I just made it the other day. Carbonara. So they're all good. They're all not bad, but this is my favourite, the spaghetti alla carbonara. All right, that one. It is my favourite. Well, that's nice. Corn chip. That's our favourite. We love that one. The only thing I will say, in it talks big ingredient names, fancy things. Basically, diced bacon is the guanciale, or however you pronounce it. I just use all Parmesan cheese. Okay, so yeah, it's a good one. All the dog drives me mad. No, definitely no cream. A proper, true, yes, Ella. A proper, true carbonara does not have cream in it. Okay, it is egg yolk. So it is, trust me, beautiful, creamy, delicious, much nicer. All right, so we want butter, sugar, vanilla. So I've gone through and edited this recipe myself to double it because, you know, we go through the cookies in our family, and also I like to have a stash in the freezer for another day, so to speak. And really with cookies, you don't need to sort of change the time too much. I'll eye it off. If I think it needs longer, I'll give it longer. There we go. Yes. Trust me on that one. Oops. You want to make a proper carbonara without cream. What are you doing, dog? What is there that you're sniffing at? Go away. Well, better loosen that off. So this isn't my only the best chocolate chip cookies ever recipe that I normally do. This is just another one off Community that I've found. But, you know, when I look at the ingredients of all these recipes, it's pretty much identical. So what you've missed is your filters. So give me a minute and I'll show you what you need to do. Because if you don't have your filters sit correctly, you're missing out on a lot of recipes. So let's get this open up and I'll show you what you need to do on my phone. Okay, so there we go. So when you have your cookie dough app on the Home Explore page, there's a little circle at the top. If you click on that and hit preferences, choose something of cooking style, because what that will do is it will suggest recipes for you, right? Tick what accessories you own and then head down the bottom to update filter. Now, two choices. If you have a TM6, don't choose a version, okay? Because you can make every recipe that is on Cookie Do. It's just that TM31s cannot make 5 and 6 recipes because they are bigger. The 5 can't do the TM6 exclusive recipes, but we can make all of them. So leave that blank, all right? 2 choices. I prefer to choose the country. So I have UK, USA, and Australia, and I save. Now, if there is ever a recipe that you're looking for and you can't find it, then come back and take the countries off and choose English. Personally, I prefer to keep it like that with those chosen because I can only speak English, sadly. I wish I could speak other languages. My husband is Dutch, so we can actually add Belgium in there and he can read those recipes. And then hit save. Okay, now when you do that, you need to, if you're on the app on your phone, just swipe up and then come back into it. It seems to reboot it and help it. If you want to temporarily search up your filters, this is where we do it in this search here. So you tap on the filters there, and I could come in here and hit English, okay, and then take those countries off. Temporarily search up a recipe as well. Yeah, you can put Canada in as well, Chris, yeah. I don't worry about it because I find that a lot of the recipes they have, we have as well. So there you go. That's what it is. You need to make sure your filters are set correctly. If you want to learn more about Cookie Do, go to my link tree. There is 2 tutorials that I've filmed and put onto my YouTube channel for anyone to watch. And there's all the tricks around getting the most out of Cookie Do, the shopping list and everything on there. There's even one if you go way back, you can even learn, I do a video on how to translate a foreign language recipe as well. So yeah. All right, scrape down. So that's the start of that. And then what we're doing in now is we're adding in the egg while the blades are running. So it wants me to put the MC on and let it drizzle down through gradually. So I need to crack my eggs into my jugs in the dishwasher. I'll just grab a cup. So this is the importance of making sure you're getting the most out of your Thermomix, is learning and asking these questions. A lot of people, if they just get the Thermomix themselves and don't have a proper lesson, then you are going to miss out on extra fantastic things that the machine and the Cookie Do can do for you. There's no doubt about it. All right, so we're going to add the lightly beaten eggs. As I said, this is slightly different to the one I would normally do while the motor's running for a minute. So we're just going to add it in. It's going to go in through the MC. So did you know that this is designed to allow the ingredients to gradually enter into the machine? I will say this is a recipe that's been developed apparently for the TM31. So the MC of the TM31 is slightly different to ours, so you might want to just lift it up a little bit. I actually don't see the point of doing that. Next time I will just gradually add it without that on there, to be honest. So yeah, recipe community is amazing, but it is full of recipes from people who are just everyday people, not exactly professionals or recipe developers. So that's exactly right, Chris. I do have a lot on YouTube, so I'm uploading live videos all the time. In fact, I'll do my ricotta gnocchi that I did tonight as well. So now we're adding the flour and the salt, so the egg's in. I'll use up the last of this, so we want 480 grams. So I have doubled this recipe. I've edited, imported it from Community, edited it. God, that's a hard thing to say, isn't it? Edited it. I edit it. It's late, it's a Sunday. Yeah, to double the mix so that I've got the single one of my only the best chocolate chip cookies ever, and now this one I've got permanently doubled. Teaspoon of salt. Alright. And then come out of there. Just mixing that together on speed 3 for a minute. Yes, consultants are valuable. Not all of them, sadly, are probably as giving as some, but like I say, please, if you know of anyone looking to buy a Thermomix, recommend them to someone that you know and trust, and I will look after them. Chris, you do too, and you've taught me stuff as well, I'm sure. Yeah, Kung Pao chicken is amazing, isn't it? I haven't made that in ages, actually, Katie. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, absolutely you can do English. I'll show you why I don't love English as a filter, right? And there's a very good reason why. When I search up, okay, so if I bring up here and I hit that little search bar up here, did you know that you can search? This is all the recipes. So this is the most made, most popular recipes in Australia right now. And it pretty much stays the same. Every now and then something sneaks into the mix that's new. But your top 3 are usually always banana bread, pizza dough, and your stock. And there's a very good reason. They're all amazing, okay? When you tap up here, you can choose to search up collections. So I quite often like to see what new collections are on there. I find when it's in English, if there's a random word in a collection from a foreign country in English, the collections will come up in all sorts of languages. So for me, I prefer just doing that. If I see someone making a recipe and I can't find it, then I will come back and change things. But I like to, it's like grabbing a book off a shelf, doing it this way, searching up the collections, because you can look at recipes that are all relevant to a theme, a taste, whatever, yeah? So I prefer to set mine to Oz, UK, and the States. But yeah, absolutely you can do that. All right, so we're adding the chocolate chips and mixing them together as well. So I can't believe it. I went back to Costco for my second visit and there was none of this at all. Not one packet. So obviously everyone's gone mad for the calibut and I'll have to go back again and search for them because they are my favourite. That's a whole lot done and dusted. But I just adore those. But any chocolate chips work fine, of course. All right. Just give that a little scrape around the edges just to make sure all that's going to incorporate nicely. And then we'll be good to go. All right. So it's set now in reverse. Yes, Mary, I learned the hard way. So yeah, absolutely, I can sell to anyone Australia-wide. The machine will come directly to you and then I can do a zoom in, or if you are close by, of course, I will call over and do a run through if you would like. Yes.
So yes, I can help anyone Australia-wide. And of course, a lot of my customer care I do through my lives as well. So I'm cooking regularly, sharing with you all the tips and tricks and teaching you all how to get the most out of that beautiful machine. Hottest tip when you're making cookies always is to fridge it, if not freeze it. All right. So cookie scoops. Look, we've got Mel on, beautiful Mel from Tupperware. I might use yours tonight actually. Where did I put the bottom of it now? Now that you've showed me how to put it together. So the one that I use primarily is just Wiltshire, any kitchen store. But Mel, are they available? Can people get them from you? The Tupperware cookie scoop. I'm going to use that tonight. So you can do a one-on-one, right? Yeah, absolutely, I can do that. Mix. Yep, you can do that. Of course you can. Look, the thing is the reason why a consultant wants you to have 2 people there is, I'll just explain it, right? How we work is we work on commission only. So a demo does help us out. But if you absolutely don't want to do a demo, then we do what's called a delivery briefing. And we can do that via Zoom. We can do it in person, however you like. Hey, Melissa, you must go and make sure you check the bell on my page, honey, just to make sure. Now, Mel, I think I've broken this one because I was probably mucking around with it when I went to put it together. Have I? Or is there a trick to that I'm not doing right? That's the little one. I think I might want to use the middle one. Little one seems really small. It's in back to front. How do I get it out now? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. See, it tricks me. Is there a trick to getting it out? Press the side button. Uh-oh. Gotcha. Right. So it was in back to front. But then that little bit goes in there. Does that go into there? It's working now. Right, I think that's too small anyway. Now, what I was saying is I'm going to go the middle one. That's what I reckon will be better. No, I've done it again. Okay. Done. I'll stop fiddling with it now. I'm going to break it, aren't I? Middle size is best for cookies. The little one is a bit too tiny, I think. It looks comparable to what I would normally use anyway. All right, so what I might do though is actually, stuff it. I'll just do it straight out of the bowl because I'm lazy. I don't want to dirty something else. Bro. Perfect. Look at that. So there you go. If you want a cookie scoop, get on to Mel. Miss Mel Boyd there in the comments is our Tupperware girl who's on tonight. No, I do need to put it in a bowl because there's too many chocolate chips on top. All right. Didn't blend them through as well. Yeah. I know the dough does look delicious, doesn't it? But yes, definitely needed to get it out to scoop it properly. Yeah, this is a different one to what I normally do, so it'll be interesting to see the end result, but the recipe itself is so similar to the best ever ones that I normally do. Now don't forget the tip of when everything is still sort of stuck around the blades, don't keep dragging your spatulas around the sharp side of the blades. Flick it off.
So put it on with the lids. Grab another measuring cup. That one got covered in egg. Come out of there. And just whack it up to top speed. Just for a second. Just get it flick off out the side. So there, see? All the stuff that was around the blades is no longer around the blades, and then we're not going to go ruining our spatulas trying to get it all out, because we can just scoop it straight from the outside. Okay? Perfect. You're welcome. I'm full of crazy tips, honestly. The brand of chocolate I'm using tonight is it's a treat chocolate, okay? It's not cheap. It's the Calibut. It's Belgian chocolate. You can pick that up from Costco. So if you're near a Costco, it's probably the best price point. You can buy it online or from maybe some specialty baking stores. It's not cheap. It really is not. But it is delicious. So if you want to be decadent, treat yourself to the good stuff. So what I'm doing right now is just forming these into little balls, and then this is going to go into the freezer. And then we will cook some. But the cookies are going to stay in a nice, round, thicker cookie if you freeze them, or definitely fridge them for at very least about half an hour. I doubled the dough so I can make a whole pile of cookie balls to freeze up for another day. So I'll probably use one of your nice silicone bags too, Mel, and show that, because that's where the cookie balls can go into. I've got a few of them off you. These little babies, they're so handy. I love them. Pre-clean is literally that. It is a pre-clean. So it's prior to dishwashing or pulling apart and giving it a scrub. It just helps to loosen off stuff. And it's great for the browning. If you're using your high heat to brown things, please do the vinegar and water with the browning. It must be vinegar, because if you put soap in when it's browning, it's too much heat, and warm it up and you'll have bubbles everywhere. And it does give you that instruction in the pre-clean mode. So every mode has a little information button. Please get familiar with what it says before using, just so you are all over it and you make sure that you do everything correctly. It is pretty self-explanatory, the old TM6, but you know, there's so many things I can teach you and you can learn. And the problem is it's such a lot in one session. So this is why I do what I do, because I want anyone who is my customer and anyone else who wants to jump on, I want you to learn and get the most out of your Thermomix and love it as much as I do, you know. I don't want to hear of people with it sitting on the bench. I don't want to hear about people saying, I don't know what to do, I can't think of anything, it's too hard, or whatever the case might be. None of that here. Watch and learn and you'll be all over it in no time. I get quite often people messaging me saying, thank you, you've inspired me to use my Thermomix more, it's been sitting on the bench, or I just do this, or I just do that. Why does that happen? I don't know. But, you know, there's so many things you can do. And if ever you feel stuck, if ever you feel like you need some help, then get in touch, please. I beg of you, because it's a big investment and I do not want anybody saying that, oh, I regret it, I want to sell it.
I don't understand that either. I get it if you're broke and you need the money. I understand that. I'm not rich by any means. But, you know, I couldn't live without one, let alone now I can't live without two. Oh, I just saw that nacho with chili cheese. That looks nice, doesn't it? Go, Dimity. You're going to be my next superstar. I just know it. Yes, but yeah, please, 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 if you know of anyone who may be interested in a Thermomix, you know, help us out. Send them a consultant's way. If you have a consultant already, then please go to them. If you don't, then I would love, love, love to help you. And anyone that refers sales on to me, we can certainly set up online demonstrations. I did it recently with the lovely Mel and get you... she joined my live with a whole heap of friends, and we can get you a host reward as well. There's many ways of doing that, and plus all my customers get sent a care package from me. There we go. So many is that? 2, 4, roughly 30. Right, I'm going to go and put that out into the deep freeze for a little minute. Bonus recipe. While we wait for that, I have some frozen fruit I need to use up. Plus, I bought some dragon fruit today. This will make my daughter very busy. I knew I had a big bag of berries somewhere. Right, let's make some frozen fruit ice cream because I have some egg whites frozen up as well. Willow, shh. Shh. Pin the comment. Maz, I love that you use yours every day. Read comment from Mix above. Let me go back. Reza, that's a big lesson. Is that what's asking? How is it to make your own recipes and do you know set time, speed, etc.? Yes, I can help with that. So, again, those cookie dough tutorials on my YouTube channels, go into that. Find a similar recipe. Hey, Lizzie, okay? So find a similar recipe. There is something there. Excuse me. My goodness. No, definitely not Tupperware, darling. They were old demo cups from 100 years ago. Get out. Old demo cups from ages ago, definitely not Tupperware. All is good. Hey, Shirley. So I love it. I see my customers' names popping up. This is the best. Because I know you're going to learn every little bit every time you see. So, how to do your own recipes. Now, whatever the recipe may be, say it is spaghetti bolognese. So go on Cookie Doo, look up bolognese. Find something that has similar ingredients perhaps, and just follow that, but use your ingredients. Now, what else you can do with that is, and I'll quickly show you, right? So let's just go with the bolognese as an example. So if I look up, now my favorite bolognese is the chunky bolognese. Okay. So did you know in that little thing here where it says add, you can see edit or add to created recipes rather. If you add it to created recipes, oh, hang on, what did that say? Make new space. Oh, I've got no room. All right, let me make some space. Damn it. There's only space for 100 and I have 100. What can I get rid of? So I've made space. Okay, so back here, search, bolognese. All right, so here's the recipe. This is the cookie dough recipe. So I did this recently with a customer of mine who can't have onion, garlic, and so many things, but she has a written out butter chicken recipe of her own. So what we did was we add to create a recipe a butter chicken, and then we edit it, okay? So literally change the ingredients to suit whatever you want to make, okay? And then with the process, have a read of it. Is it similar to what you would do? Keep it the same, all right? That is the easiest way to put your own recipes on here, is just edit one that's already there and make it your own. Now, when you go to do it, it will be in creative recipes. It will look slightly different to a normal cookie dough recipe. Still easy enough to follow along, right? If you want to go to the trouble of uploading your very own, again, find something similar, take note of the steps, and just copy it. That's all there is to it. It is that simple, okay? All right, so let's make some fruity dream. Let's set it up. Okay, so we're going to do the TM6 version. Now, my eldest daughter is obsessed with Fruity Dream. She eats it for breakfast because it's ice cream that you can eat for breakfast. Think your acai bowls, etc., smoothie bowls, same. Oh, I didn't spell that right. I wonder if it'll find it though. With frotty. Yep, see? Love that. Even with a typo, it finds it. That's no problem at all. Honestly, like I say, my videos go into detail on all that stuff. All right, so a raw sugar. This is one of our demo dishes that we do to show people how amazing this machine is. Frozen fruit ice cream. So in my freezer, I have a whole bag of berries. So these might be berries that we may have been going away and I thought they might go to waste, or whatever the reason might be. I've stuck them in a bag in here, and I'm just going to loosen that up a bit as well. And then today, because I've seen too many people do this and I wanted to copy, I'm going to add dragon fruit to absolutely escalate the prettiness of this frozen fruit ice cream. 3 ingredients. It's sugar, raw sugar, which we're going to mill. I'm going to get a lid. We're going to mill it down to an icing sugar consistency because we don't actually cook this, and you want a nice fine sugar in there. All right. Yeah, mango sorbet is great too. The only thing I will say about mango is when you do buy the frozen mango, sometimes it can be really stringy and a bit tarty. So I highly recommend buying your own, chopping it up, or even using tin fruit. Freeze it. There's a pineapple one which I'm obsessed with. If you like a splice, you will love it. It's called Frozen Pineapple Whip, I'm pretty sure. Yep, frozen pineapple cream, actually. This one is amazing. Get your tin of pineapple in juice, drink the juice, use the juice, freeze the pineapple and make it. It is so, so good. All right, so good. Okay, so what went in as raw sugar is now icing sugar. So as long as you have raw sugar in your house, you have caster sugar, white sugar, icing sugar. You just need 1 sugar if you want. You want to have all the sugars? Have all the sugars. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to say that you can absolutely do that. So you'll see all your blades in there. What we want to look for when we're putting in our butterfly is the one that has a knuckle, okay? So it's the highest blade. It goes like this at the top, and we want to go behind it. So to the left, think of the Beyonce song, okay? It goes to the left of the tallest blade, in like that, and it rests and lightly locks in. Our butterfly is a delicate creature. We never go above speed 4. Now, I had egg whites the other night from oh God, and I've just spilt it on the tea towel. I'm putting them all in, so there's going to be a bit extra. You can do that. I'm not going to waste egg whites, and now this tea towel definitely has to go into the wash. Shame. So what we're doing now is, without the measuring cup, we are going to make a meringue of sorts. So we're cooking the egg white. There you go, Mel. It's easy, isn't it? Once you know how to do it, it's easy. So make the recipes your own. You're allowed to do that. Dragon fruit apparently has very little flavour, but the most stunning colour. So instead of just the beautiful pink of mixed berries, we're going to have a whole new bright pink. She's definitely got over her operation. She's a madhouse puppy, that's for sure. No, you can't use your machine without the lid. It won't work. It has a safety mechanism. Look, if I go to turn it now, it'll say to me, where's your lid, you idiot? Put it on. Okay? You absolutely cannot use it without the lid. All right? Okay, yes, I know. I'm just showing the people. All right, so egg white's done, one set. Let's go again. I know this recipe like the back of my hand. All right. So we're just lightly whipping and slightly cooking the egg white for this recipe. You absolutely can do this recipe with just raw egg white. It works exactly the same. It's just that with the cooked egg white, it covers anyone that may be pregnant. It covers, not me, that's for sure. Covers anyone that maybe goes, ew, raw egg white, you know. Darling, they're in the freezer, Tara. We've done the cookies. We're on to the frozen fruit ice cream now. So we've got a bag of mixed berries and we have a bag of dragon fruit to give it a really next level pretty colour. So two different types of tubs, both of which you can get on the mix shop. I've had these for 100 years though, from, I don't know where I got them from, some kitchen store. We've got a 2-pack of these on the mix shop. I'm pretty sure the Scoop Glide Tovolo containers are still on the mix shop. So if you want to get yourself some fancy little tubs, then they're there. So there we go. That's our egg white all whipped up and cooked beautifully. What that will do is it will give our frozen fruit ice cream a light, airy, lovely, light, scoopable texture. So this we need to rest here for a minute because we'll need to put that back. We're going to add in our fruit now. So there's all my berries from the freezer. I'll save some for another time because I want to add a bit of that dragon fruit just to give it that extra whoosh of colour. Because it is apparently very bland and has not a great flavour. I'm not an expert. Right. Next, so here it's showing us that we can, which we absolutely can do, is use our spatula to help stir things along. However, I find that most of the time it's okay. Oh, now when you hear that, stir. Dream. Hopefully you can read that. That's what this recipe is, fruity dream. I make this and I show people, yes, Sue, it is noisy. That's the sound of you saving money, because I challenge you to go and buy fruity gelato. One scoop of this baby would cost you about $5. So I've just made a bit of sound to save you money, right? So not everything in life is going to be peaceful and quiet. This one, we're chopping up frozen fruit and making an ice cream. So it's a bit of a, of course there's going to be a bit of sound, right? Justin, yes, but I did a different one tonight. So knowing this recipe by the back of my hand, we're now going to insert the butterfly. So this is the before. And every demo I go to, when people see that, are like, wow. And I'm like, no, wait, there's more. All right, so be prepared. Speed 4 for 1 minute. We're going to whip that up. Already. Plus, you know what's in it. Yes, exactly right. Bang on the money. Right, we don't need that. We don't need that. Yes, chopping up frozen fruit is like crushing ice. Definitely not going to be a silent operation. No. Right. Now we have, and this is why the dragon fruit is just spectacular. We have this, okay? So we've gone from what looks like nice frozen fruit ice cream to fluffy, lovely, delicious, beautiful ice cream. And this is the ice cream, as I said, you can have for breakfast. So you'll see, it's light, it's airy, it's moussey. This is what you buy from a gelato shop. And as I said, you'll pay about $5 for a scoop. Any fruit at all, Katie. It's so good. Honestly, for me, look at that. It is spectacular. So there's a little tip for you. If you want a really pretty Barbie pink color, grab a bag of dragon fruit. Just add a little bit of that to the mix. Mixed berries for me is my favorite. I reckon it tastes a bit like fairy floss, but any flavor, any fruit, stalk your fruit shop, buy the bags of fruit that's nearly ready to go rotten. That's the sweetest fruit. Use less sugar if you want to. There's so many flavor combinations. That frozen pineapple cream, oh my goodness. If you, like me, grew up with splice ice creams, you will love it. It's so delicious. And it makes a lot. So, what fresh fruit gelato can you buy without additives for that? You can't. And I tell you, the gelatos in the shops are that, but they're made from powders, they're made from God knows what. They may still taste nice, but this is literally fruit, sugar, and egg white. And that is it, okay? And it will scoop out the freezer tomorrow. After a while, it will go a bit icy. However, you can, if you want to, I mean, it's ice cream. Ice cream is icy. You can re-whip it if you really want to, or just eat it as it is. I will find my daughter in the morning with this tub and a spoon, having a great old time eating it up. It is so delicious. But yeah, lots of flavor combinations. Another great tip is where I did the raw sugar. Where I did the raw sugar, add in mint leaves, add in vanilla. So many things. Yum. Well, true, Katie. Gelato Messina, actually, in their stores, always have Thermomixes. So there you go. There's a post. I think it's in. I'm trying to remember where I saw it years ago. I think it was on Thermomix page. Gelato Messina. They've got a place, and there's like about 20 Thermomixes on shelves on the walls. So, yeah, it's the reason is this is one of the most powerful blenders on the market, and this is why chefs love them. We've recently had someone, a restaurant, actually, you saw we were out for team dinner recently, maybe, Mexicali restaurant. They had just purchased a TM6 because the chef wanted it to make sorbets, instant sorbets. Oh, hang on. Come out of there. I've got to whack it up to top speed to flick that off the blades. Jumped ahead of myself. To get every last bit of that deliciousness out. Fruity Dream, we're making at the minute. We've just made a batch of cookies. So remember that. Get it all off the blades by flicking it up to top speed and getting every last bit of that deliciousness out. Okay? So yes, I have one very happy teenage girl tomorrow because she will sit down with a spoon and eat that. And I'm okay with that because there's not that much sugar in it. It is frozen fruit, egg white, and a little bit of sugar. Now, another thing you could do if you really wanted to, but I don't want to do it this late at night, is leave some in there, add some milk, and whip up a smoothie. Mix, I can download this one and add it to my YouTube, but it won't. Yeah, yum. Look at that. Ice cream. No, Jess, that's frozen fruit ice cream. It is frozen fruit, a little bit of sugar, which we mill up first, and egg white. And that's it. So, dairy-free. So good. So good. Fruity Dream, correct. I've used mixed berries and a bit of dragon fruit tonight. So into the freezer with that. And I'm going to get the cookie dough out and let's make some cookies. So if beautiful Mel is still around, here's another one of my fantastic silicone bags from Tupperware. Talk to Mel if you would like to get such things. So I'm going to freeze these little cookie dough balls so that when I need another batch of cookies, you just take them out, pop them on the tray and bake them. Takes another maybe minute or two to cook from frozen. And it gives that nice gooey center, which we love. All right, these are going to be bigger cookies today. As my jar is empty. 1, 2, 3. That's a massive one. Save that for another day. That and that. So there we go. Spread them out nicely because they will of course spread as they cook. And you don't want a tray bake of cookies. Okay, I better get the oven on. I haven't even turned it on. And then these babies will go away for another day. Don't need to defrost. I cook them from frozen. Yeah, it's great. And the good thing about that is they retain the shape and you get that nice gooey middle. Herb and garlic dip is amazing, Jess. Done. Mixes ricotta gnocchi. Delicious. Yeah, I've got all her books. All of them there. All right, gang. You'll save yourself a few $100 to do it that way. Absolutely, Sue. All bits go in the dishwasher. My dishwasher is on at the minute. I'll show you. Fog up in there. I've got my Varoma up here.
my lids, my bowls, my blades. It's steamy. It's on right now. I love that it goes in the dishwasher. I ain't washing nothing by hand if I can get away with it. Yes. So yeah, if you're in the market for a Thermomix, please, I'd love to be your consultant. Linktree is there with all my details. Feel free to reach out to me, or the purchase link is there. I'm going to pop these in the oven in a minute. The oven hasn't heated up enough yet.